Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, then please do. In this video, I'll be doing a review on the TV show Bel-Air. So this is season 1. So I'll be talking about my thoughts on the show. I will be going into spoilers, so if you haven't watched the show and you would like to, then please skip this video. And once you've seen the show, then you can come back. But if you don't care about spoilers, then keep on watching. Mind that I have notes on this phone, so if you see me looking down, that's why. The first characters that I will be talking about is Lisa's dad and stepmom. So their names are Fred and Angela. I'm pretty sure that's the pronunciation name. So disgusting people, very disgusting people. I could say that. I could just leave it there. They're very disgusting people. One, I really hope he doesn't win the election because, let's be honest, dry toast is better than him. I would prefer watching dry toast because I feel like that's a better choice. I will get to Angela in a bit, but Fred needs to stay away because being engaged to another woman after your wife, not only your wife, the mother of your teenage daughter has died of, I think it was leukemia, so she died of cancer, and you got engaged to this woman 1 year later, and now you're having a baby with her. It's very disgusting, very, very disgusting. Cheating on your wife while she's dying of cancer, and then with Angela, of all people in the world, you cheat. Cheating is already bad. The cheating is already bad, but who you're cheating on the mum with is just disgusting. And now I'm going to talk about Angela. I hate that she let me put my guard down. That's why I hate about Angela, because there's a scene when she's saying to Viv, I can see that we're not really bonding, and I want to try and get close to her, and I put my guard down because I'm like, yes, I want Lisa to be happy, because Lisa went through a lot through the show, which I will get to Lisa later on, but she went through a lot, and I'm like, yes, Lisa, that would a stepmom, will Angela ever compare to Lisa's mum? No, of course not. We all know that. But I said, okay, she's their mum's trying. So I put my guard down for maybe 2 seconds, 2 minutes, I don't know how long. But then what she did, and Viv told her just to be patient, basically, to let her come to you. She will come her time, should be patient. But then Angela listened to what she said. No, she went and did what she wanted to do. I'm gonna try not to look at the notes too much, because I know that in videos where I look at notes, a lot of times my phone is like covering my face because doing this. So I'm gonna try and not to look at my phone too much. But even though Viv is telling her, give Lisa her space, she will come to you when she's ready. Let her come to you. Don't you go to her. Don't force it. But no, Angela just wanted to do what Angela wanted to do. That's what Angela wanted to do. The way she went to the microphone, pretending like, oh no, I'm going, pretending. So thinking about what she did, she's giving me a bit of a headache because I don't like her, which is why I decided to do her first. I was gonna actually do another character first, but I was like, I don't want to talk about a character I love and then talk about a character I hate. So that's why I decided to do Fred and Angela first, because I don't like them. I understand they're there for the plot, I understand that. So when people are like, oh, why do you not? But they're just there for the plot. Like, I understand that. And I'm sorry if you hear barking. That's my friend's dog. I don't think it's the right decision for you to make a speech, because she's like, oh, I want to make a speech. It's a good idea. Viv told her no. she was told twice no, but she still was heading up there to make a speech. So with me, I feel like it's like it's like, and I hate it when people do this. Let me put that phone down for a second. So it's like having this bottle, right? And I say to maybe my friend, oh, can I use this? But I'm already picking it up and I'm already using it, and they'll be like, oh, can I use it? I'm like, but you literally ask me after you already used it. It's like me picking up this perfume, for example. Me picking up this perfume, saying to my friend, can I use it? Like, I'm doing this. Oh, can I use your perfume? That's what she was doing. She was already heading up there to use the perfume, or the perfume, to use the microphone. So sort of like, this is, it aches me. It aches me so much. Go back to Fred for a second. Pretending like he was saying what he was to Lisa about Will because he was protecting her. No, it's just because he wanted to use the information about Will to help with his campaign. Let's be honest now, he was not protecting, and he was not protecting Lisa, he was not protecting his daughter at all. He wasn't protecting her. I don't believe he was. So for the people that's like, oh, he was just protecting her because he knew that Will was a bad kid. No, he didn't know that. He didn't know that he was a bad kid. He just wanted to be proven white. He just wanted to be white, even if it meant hurting his daughter, because he knew that his daughter liked Will. He knew that his daughter liked Will. He knew that, but he didn't care. He just wanted to be white. He didn't care if it meant it could hurt Lisa in the process. Did Lisa deserve to know the truth? Of course she did. Of course she deserved to know the truth, but he didn't care about that, and that's what actually irks me. It irks me so much. Viv putting Angela in her place was one of the reasons why I love Viv so much, and she's one of the best characters in the show, but we'll get to her later on. Could she have done more? Yes, she could have done more, but I'm happy with what we got. A lot of people are saying, oh, that she should have punched her, which I'm like, I understand. Yes, she could have punched her because she didn't have to hurt the baby. She didn't have to do this area because Angela is pregnant, and so she didn't have to punch here. She could have just like punched here or something. I don't know. But she could have done more. Yes, she could have said more. She could have done more. But I'm happy with what we got. Last thing I have to say about them is that they're terrible, terrible people who deserve each other. They're both headaches, and Lisa deserve better than them. But to be honest, I think the mum dodged the bullet, and I know some people will be like, "How did she dodge a bullet if she's dead?" I mean, the reason why I feel dodged the bullet, not having the gun job, because no, that's not dodging the bullet. The reason why I think she dodged the bullet is because if he was willing to do that while his wife was dying of leukemia or cancer, then that shows that he's always been this. That shows what kind of person he is. That means that I feel like he would have cheated on her regardless of even if she wasn't dying of cancer. I think he would have probably still cheated on her either way. So that's why I feel like she dodged a bullet in that sense, not in the having a cancer sense, because no, that's awful. Okay, what I'm going to talk about is Jeffrey. So, what a man, what a character. I love Jeffrey so much. And I know that even though his job was online, it didn't stop him from doing what he felt was the right thing to do, even if it meant he could be fired. Because Uncle Phil was like, oh, you remember you work for me. But Jeffrey was like, no, I'm still going to say what I believe in. Like, he stood his ground, he stood up for himself, which I love. And I'm going to try not to compare the original show to the show while I'm doing this review, but what I do love about this show is how they have a lot of like charm. A lot of these characters have a lot of charm from the last show, especially Jeffrey. Like Jeffrey, I love Jeffrey in the original. I feel like in this show, this Jeffrey has a bigger part than the other Jeffrey. So I love Jeffrey, either Jeffreys, I love both of them, but this Jeffrey has a bigger part, and that's why I love him so much. I feel like that this show is a good show on its own. So even if you haven't, if you love the old show, if you love the original, I'm not gonna call it old show actually, I'm gonna call it original. If you like the original show, then you can still love this one. I know a lot of people say, and I still believe this as well, that the original nothing would compare to the original show, and I do agree with that, but I feel like this show is still a good show by itself. Like it's still a good show by itself, and even if you haven't watched the original show, you still love this one too. You will love this one, and maybe if you haven't seen the original show, after the show you should check the original show out, because I think you would like it. Okay. The way he went off on Phil on the final battle, love to see it. I love to see it. And he could have gone further. Kind of like Viv. He could have gone further because he started talking about, I think it was Will he started talking about, or Cotton, and he was about to go to Hillary or Ashley, but he was stopped. He was stopped, and which was kind of sad because I would have loved to see him go off. Because let's be honest, Phil, do you know Ash? Do you know Hillary? Do you know Ashley? Do you really know them like that? Like let's be honest, Phil, you really don't. So it would have been nice if he went off on them. Like it would have been nice if he went off them to prove a point to Phil, because you don't know your kids. Really don't know your kids, Phil. It's very sad. Much respect for him. And lastly, we know that he's a very good-looking guy. Like nobody can deny that he's a very good-looking guy. Even when one of his friends, is flirting with Jeffrey, and then he's flirting back with her, I was blushing like a lot. And there's another episode when she comes back and she's like, oh, she's looking for Jeffrey, and Viv's like, he's not here, and you can see she signs, and like girl, and I understand, I get where you're coming from. Like I don't think I've ever been that jealous of a fictional character. Like I love him a lot. I love Jeffrey a lot. He's a really good character. I love Jeffrey. He's a really good character, and I hope he comes back in season 2. Okay, so the next character I'll be talking about is Uncle Phil, and we're talking about Uncle Phil. The first thought that comes in my head is, I don't know. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I do respect him a lot. I respect him for coming out of the election. I do respect him for that, but I still don't like him as a character. Like, no, thank you. I'm gonna have to say no to that. And a lot of the reason why Carlton is because of Uncle Phil. It's like Uncle Phil calls a lot of Carlton's behaviour. It doesn't excuse Carlton's behaviour, but he calls a lot of it. And that's one of the reasons why I don't I'm trying not to swear, but I don't agree with Uncle Phil. Let me say it like that. That's a nice way to say it. I don't agree with him. I don't think it's Uncle now. He needs to get his ego in check. That's what he needs to do. He needs to get his ego in check, because his ego is like really bad. Because like you're a grown man acting like you're 4. It's very embarrassing. It's very, very embarrassing. And he's like, oh my gosh, you're not giving me attention. Why are you not giving me? Why do you think, Phil? Like, 'cause, like, I think some of these characters need to take a step back and look at yourself. Like, why do you think? Oh, you're not giving me attention. You're not giving me what I want. Why do you think? Why do you think, Phil? Why do you think they're not giving you the attention you want? Because you're not a likable person. You're not a likable guy. You're not like. So why do you think? It's so sad. It's not even sad. It's embarrassing. What am I saying? It's embarrassing. Because this film, I don't like this film. Kind of cartoon, but I get him later. Really pathetic as well. So not only is it embarrassing, but it's really pathetic as well. So I'm going to talk about his relationship with Viv. So he's her as like a person who's just kind of just there, like oh, he's just there. Like he doesn't. I don't give. You know, like when you're in a relationship, the person's supposed to be your other half. So like, so it's like a heart. So you got this part and this part, and those together. If it's broken, if it's like this, it's broken. But when you together, it's your other half. So this is one half, this is one half, and you come together and make a whole. Right? That's what it's supposed to be. But I think Bill just sees her as just there. Like you're just there for me. That's what I feel like when talking about Uncle Phil. I do respect him for bailing out Will, because if it wasn't for him, Will could have been in prison. Will could be dead right now. Let's be honest. Will could be dead right now because that guy, whatever his name was, he wanted him dead. So he could have been dead right now. So, but doing one thing, or two things, or two actions, don't make you a good person. It's like, oh, I've done two good actions that makes me a good person. Nope, doesn't mean that, because you know why? Oh, I let you have some of this. I let you have some of my drink. I shared my drink with you. That makes me a good person. No, just because you've done two actions doesn't cross out the bad you did. But oh, I pushed somebody downstairs. I stole from someone. I called somebody a bad name. Doing those two things doesn't change the good thing. One of my favourite scenes is that scene when he's dancing with all the alpha guys, releasing that It's Cold in his song. Like that performance was so cringy but funny at the same time, and it was because of Will's help. If it wasn't for Will's help, he wouldn't have been back with the alpha or the guys, because he kept saying, "Oh, Will, no, let's like drop it, stop." Like, no, Will helped you. Will helped. Will's a really good person. I love for Will, but even Jeffrey, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, Phil. That's what you are. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Because I understand he went against your wishes. He didn't listen to you. I understand that. But did you really think they wouldn't figure it out? Like, saying, I understand that it was Jeffrey's idea to say the whole, the term family emergency. I understand that was Jeffrey's idea, but did we really think they wasn't going to figure it out? Let's be honest now. Did we really believe they wasn't going to figure it out? I'm trying not to laugh. Why am I laughing so much? They were going to figure out the truth. We all know that they were going to figure it out. But that's all I have to say about Uncle Phil. The next character I'm going to talk about is Vi, who is Will's mum. So, it was doomed from the start. Let's be honest, it was doomed from the start. I'm sorry. It was just doomed. I want to say something before I start talking about Vi, and that's I'm not a mother. I don't have any children yet. I don't have any children yet. I want children in the future. But as of right now, I'm not a mother. I do understand that. So please keep. I know so many people are gonna say, "Oh, but why are you saying what? Why are you saying what you're saying? You're not a mother. You won't understand this and all that." And I'm trying to put myself in Vi's shoes, but the whole party scene was so sad. Like Will's birthday scene. Like being jealous is a natural human emotion. Like I'm not mad at her for being jealous. Like that's understandable. You're jealous of your sister. Your sister. And it's older sister or younger sister. I don't know. She's jealous of Viv. She's jealous of Viv. It's understandable. Being jealous is like having that jealousy and having that resentment. That's a natural feeling to have. But making your son's birthday party about you, that's when I have to say no, we need to stop. We're adults. And the fact that Will, who's how old is Will? I forgot now. I think he's 17. I might be wrong. A child, Will, a 17 or 16 or however old he is, child has to say to you and your sister, who are both grown adults, to basically stop. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Okay, so not telling Will about his father, I do understand why she didn't do that. I understand that. Because once you see the final scene, how Lou is, I feel like she done the right thing. Should she have wait? She did the right thing. She was doing it. It was coming from a place of love, so I do understand that. It was from love. She loves Will. She has a son. She didn't want him. She didn't want him to get hurt, which I understand. But 13 years is a very long time. So that's when I'm like, that I don't understand. And that's when I think people will be like, "Oh well, you don't understand because you're not a mom." I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. Like I am trying, guys. He's been out of jail for 13 years and you never told him, and you're still telling him that your dad basically went to get the milk. That's what that's what she's basically telling him, that she went to get the milk. He left. They went to get the milk and never came back. That's basically what he's telling them, and it's so sad. This show is funny, guys. That's why I'm making myself laugh. I need to stop. Like, he was going to find out the truth eventually, and her saying, "Well, if I was there, he would have run away. I'm sorry to break to you, Vi. He would have run away either way. He would have, even if you were there, he still would have run away because he's angry at you as well. He's angry at you. He's angry at Viv. He's angry at Bill. He would have run away the same thing because you lied to him. You broke the trust. He's not a kid anymore. And I'm pretty sure he did say that. Like, he's not 4. I think he was 4 when his mom told him, like, that he left, that Lou left, and he didn't even leave. He did leave, but he didn't leave. He went to prison. But he thought it was a different leave. She told him a different leave. The show is so messy. But I feel like the reaction that Will had was completely understandable. So that's all I have to say about Vi. So now I'm going to go on to Viv. So the next character I'm going to talk about is Vivian. And you know how I support, you know the saying that goes, I support women's wrongs, no, I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs. That's me. That's how I feel about Vivian, because I love Vivian as a character, but I have to dig on her for like too much, because there's something I don't agree with her with, and it's when it comes to her and Hillary's relationship, and Hillary's her eldest daughter. I'll get to Hillary soon. Her eldest daughter. So I know people are gonna say, well, she was just protecting Hillary because she loves her. I don't think that's protecting. I think she was controlling Hillary. She was controlling her really badly. She was controlling her because this is like this. When it comes to this protection, this controlling. So she was just going more and more closer to this one. Like when it comes to protecting someone, there's a line, and Vivian crossed that line with Hillary. Vivian can see that something is happening with Ashley, which is good. I'm glad that she noticed that something's happening. She doesn't know what it is. She's not sure what it is, so she said to Ashley, if you can come, she's like, oh, you can come to me, you can talk to me, so along those lines. But at the same time, I don't understand why Vivian would think that Ashley would come to her, because look at the way that Vivian treats Hillary, and Ashley sees the way that Vivian treats Hillary. So why would Ashley feel comfortable to come to you, Vivian? Like, let's explain that, shall we? Let's explain that. When a person is like when a person is feeling depressed and try and talk, and then they'll be like, oh, why don't you come to me? Why don't you tell me how you feel? Blah blah blah. And you're like, this is why I don't tell you, because every time you don't listen to me, or you call me names, or you make me feel like I'm dirt, or I'm like poo, or what's it called, gum at the bottom of your shoe. Now I can say more positive things about her, and I want to say that I really love Viv. I think she's really funny. I love how, like, most of the time, for example, I love how real she is most of the time. For example, like when she's speaking to Lou, who is Will's father, in the finale scene, and what she says to Angela, it's very sweet, because she sees, I really love hers and Will's relationship, because I think she sees herself in Will. She was born in Bel Air as well. Loved the scene when she's like letting out all her feelings to the friendship person on the phone. So that was very sweet, because I feel like we need to do that more. Like, and it's like, I know, trust me, being vulnerable is very hard. Like, especially like I don't like being vulnerable. I'm vulnerable lots of times, yes, but I don't like it, because a lot of people, they take your ability and they use it as a way to get what they want, which I don't like. That's why I don't like being vulnerable. And a lot of people see like emotion as weakness, like, why are you crying, like, why are you doing that? So that was a very impactful scene for me. I'm glad that she got she got accepted to the fellowship. She deserved it 100%. She's very funny, and I liked her style a lot this season. The hair change was very sad, and I'm excited to see more of her story. So the next character I'm going to be talking about is Reed. So the moment he came on my screen, the way my face like lit up, kind of like this, and like now it's very bright. My face like lit up. So it's kind of like when you're pregnant and people say, oh, your face is glowing. My face lit up, because as soon as I saw the actor, I'm like, oh, I know him. during the show I kept on thinking, where do I know this guy from? But now I remember he was in Think Like a Man and also The Perfect Guy. Well, so I'm like, oh, that's where I know him from. Good looking guy. But I think the actor and the character is very good looking. But mostly the actor. But we're not here to talk about how good looking he is. So the character of Reed, he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo and very creepy. Whatever word comes to your mind, he's that. He's creepy, he's weird. The whole him and Vivian interaction was interesting. Did Phil have a reason not to trust him? Yes, he had his reasons, apart from just it being a big ego. He had his reasons to not trust Reed, because when we found out what the truth was about Reed, like what she's done with other artists in the past, I was so surprised. I'm like, wow. So because of that, I don't want Reed and Vivian to get together. I want it to stay as he done. He gave you that boost to start peaking again, and he helps you get the fellowship. That's it. Leave it. Done. I don't think it needs to go past that. Let's just keep it as it is, because Reed said that. I think there's a scene where he's like, oh, are we good? Are we okay? And it's like, yeah, we're good, because he even said to Phil, like, he said to Phil, oh, I don't see her like that. I just see her as, I just really appreciate her art. And do I believe him? No, not really. I don't really believe I'm not buying what he's selling. Let's say it like that. I'm not buying what he's selling, because I don't really believe him that much. But but I really hope he's not lying, because I feel like Viv can get the attention. I do understand that, like, when people don't get attention, a lot of the times they crave it from someone else, because Phil was not giving her attention, because, as I said, Phil just sees her as somebody who's just there, so he wasn't giving her attention, which I understand, which is why I feel like Phil had such a big ego about Reed. And I know for a lot of people, I feel like with Phil, he would have done that to anyone. I feel like Phil would have, if any guy gave Viv attention, he would have been like, oh, I don't trust him. Which is Phil and his ego. Get in check, please. But yeah, it doesn't need to cross over. Like this doesn't need to happen. I don't trust Reed, but not in the way Phil doesn't trust him. Phil just doesn't trust him because he's a guy. He's a guy that's given her attention when you're not. That's what you are. You know that he's competition. He could take you out the running. That's how Phil sees him. I just don't trust him because I don't want Viv to get hurt, and that's why I don't trust him. Not because of why Phil doesn't trust him. So it's a completely different trust. So please just don't fuss about it. That's what I want. Because after I found out the truth, he went down levels. Like, I love the actor. The actor is a very good looking guy. The character is a very good looking guy. But he went down levels. He went like that. After I found out what happened, I'm like, nah. Anyone else, please. Anyone else. Attention. You got an internship. You don't need Reed. You don't need him. No, you don't need him. Okay. What's the next character? Okay. The next character I'll be talking about is Lisa. So Lisa deserves better. Like, her story is very tragic, because first her mum dies, then she has Angela and Fred, and we don't need to talk about them again. Then she has the Carter situation, and I know a lot of people will say, well, he's her ex, but after she dumped him, I'm pretty sure she said how a lot of people were still, like, people were given, like, treating her badly because of what she did, and still is treating her badly because of what she did, because she dumped him. And now she's with the cousin, Will, but Will is Cart's cousin, so Will's Cart's problem becomes Will's problem, which becomes Lisa's problem because Angela wants to be there for Will. Because she meets this really cool, handsome, good-looking guy, and what happens? Turns out, nope, I can't trust him either. I can't trust him. Nope, it's not. I can't trust him. The one person that I thought I could trust, I can't trust. And let's be honest, Will was Lisa's fresh breath of air. So, like, let's say you're swimming, right? So you're swimming, you're doing all this moves, and then there's the part when you turn your face like that, see air, and then you keep on going. That was Will, because all when she was swimming, that was Fred, Angela, Carton, her mum died, all of that was her swimming. But when Will came in the story and she fell for him and she was able to breathe, so I understand she was heartbroken. She was heartbroken, and it was very, very sad to watch. I'm sorry, that's just light and it's getting on my nerves. But I'm doing the best I can. Okay. I was drowning so much in the show, and to see how Will was sweet to her in that moment when she's like, I trust you, just before they had sex, like, it was very heartbreaking because we knew the truth. She didn't know the truth, but we knew the truth. We know why Will couldn't tell her, but from Lisa's point of view, she had every right to be angry because she was upset and she felt betrayed. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought she had a recording device on, because I've seen reviews and people talked about that they thought that she had a recording device. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not the only one who thought that, because I thought that was what's going to happen. I thought she had a recording device on her. Wouldn't she have done it? Would Lisa want to do it? No, but being that her dad is Fred, I wouldn't be surprised. So that's why I was like, oh, she has a recording device on her. Wow, okay. But I hope this trauma that Lisa's going through is for a bigger reason, because why give her all this trauma just for it to be brushed under the rug or brushed under the carpet? Because it's kind of like Maddie in Euphoria, because that trauma of Nate pulling the gun on her and then pulling the gun on himself, like, what was the point of that if not bringing it up again? Well, I don't see the point. So the next character we talk about is Ashley. So I love Ashley as a character. We need more of her that doesn't involve her crush being into Will, her cousin. Yeah, we don't need more of that, please. I knew it from she was looking. I don't know the girl's name, but from the way her crush was looking at Will when he was playing the piano, I was thinking in my head, she likes Will, but I wanted to be wrong. And trust me, I don't like being wrong. A lot of people don't like being wrong, but I wanted to be wrong so badly because obviously I love Ashley. I wanted to be wrong. And when she said it, she's like, oh, can you set me up with Will? I'm like, oh gosh, no, why? Oh, my head, this lately was my head. I was like, why? And that's the last bit next thing I'm gonna say is, actually, you don't have to talk to Viv. If you're not ready to talk to Viv, then I would understand, because you have a valid reason not to talk to Viv, because why would you? Like, let's have more Ashley and Hillary interactions, because I love their friendship together. I love their relationship together. Like, I love how when she said, oh, she has a crush, and she said it's a she, Hillary didn't give that bigger reaction. Hillary was just like, oh, you have a crush on a girl. Oh, she didn't give that kind of reaction. She just like, okay, what's her name? It was just natural. That's what it should be. Like, it's just like any other crush, apart from the gender, of course. But and apart from that, it's just any other crush. So more of Ashley and Hillary, more of Ashley and Hillary, and less of Fred and Angela. Thank you very much. So the next character I'll be talking about is Jazz. I love Jazz. His style's always on point and he's funny. I like his and Hillary's relationship, and what I really appreciate about the show is that he's not creepy. Like, he's not a stalker and he's not creepy. With the whole scene when he's saying about her decision to do the cam girl, when the reason why she went to the guy in the first place was to tell him to take him down. I do. And he's like, oh, I didn't think you were the person who would sell yourself. And I understand it's coming from a place of caring, because he does care about her, like, very, he likes her. But I know some people will say, well, he shouldn't say that because it wasn't his place, and I can see both sides. But what I do like is that him and Will's scene at the end, and how he's got Will's back from the beginning. I feel like Lisa is Will's. I feel like Will is Lisa's breath of fresh air. I feel Jazz is Will's breath of fresh air, which is funny because the show's called Bel Air. Do I think he's the best voice of reason? No, but he's better than Uncle Phil and Carlton, so I would take what I can get. So that's how I feel about Jazz. Oh, guys, I'm really finished with characters, and I can go into episodes. Finally, but I can talk for ages. Anyway, the next character I'll be talking about is Hillary. I loved Hillary a lot, and Coco Jones is really good. And a lot of people say that a lot of people watch the show because of her, or want to watch the show because of her. And I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. But I do need to talk to Hillary for a second. Big sister. You didn't escape control, because I know the reason why you left your parents' houses was your mum was controlling your every move, but the control was just pushed onto somebody else. So it was pushed onto the mum, to Kyle, I think that's his name. So the influencer house was a bad call from the jump. I'm sorry, but once those prank guys, once I saw them prank guys, I was like, it's a big red flag for me, and maybe this isn't the best decision. Should she have read the contract? Yes, she should have read the contract. She was a bit silly for that. Or should she have not just glossed over it? Because I'm pretty sure that's what she did. She just glossed over it. That I can say you were silly for that. And as I said with Viv, I will appreciate women's rights, but I'll also see their wrongs, and she was wrong for that. But Carl manipulating her like that, he's disgusting, and there's a special place for people like you. Like, he could see that she was uncomfortable, so that's why I said there's a special place for people like you. Hillary standing up for herself and saying her truth was the right thing because it was her experience, and did your mum look at you sideways for that? Yes, but let's be honest, Hillary could do anything and Viv would have had sideways. And why? And the reason why I feel like that, I feel like Viv is the kind of parent who's like, oh, I had these expectations from you when you were a baby or before you were born, and you didn't meet them. Like, for example, the parents have expectations for their kids to be doctors or nurses or degrees, and they say they don't want to be it. They don't want to do that. I feel like that's how Viv is. Or because she didn't get to do what she did, because she didn't get to pursue her dream, she's pushing on, she's projecting those that anger. She's projecting those feelings onto Hillary. I hope all that makes sense. And like those parents that basically want their children to be clones of them. That's how I feel. I love Hillary. I love her relationship with Ashley and how when she found out that Ashley crosses a girl and her reaction to it. As I said when I was talking about Ashley, that is someone to look up to. You should look up to Hillary. You don't look up to people like Uncle Phil because he's not a good person. Look up to Hillary. She's one of my favourite characters, and apart from Ashley and two other people that I will get to soon, but I love Hillary a lot. The next character I'll talk about is Ivory. No. Let's end that before that even starts. She seems very fake to me, and when I say that, I mean she seems like that person who says praises to you to your face, but then she'll go to somebody else and talk bad about you behind her back. That's what kind of energy she gives me. She does have very good style choices, and I would give her that, because that dress, that pink dress, that I think it was pink, that she picked out, like I was like, wow, that dress is beautiful. But I really do hope they don't end up doing the business together. And also the way that Jazz and Ivory was looking at each other when Hillary was standing right there. No, it's a no for me. So the next character I'm going to be talking about is Carton, and oh gosh, I've got a lot to say about Carton, so you buckle up. But I'm disappointed. I'm annoyed. I know I said I would try not to bring up the original show, and I did come into the show with a fresh mind, and trust me when I say I don't know this Carton. I don't know who this Carton is. I don't recognize him. I said to myself, I really hope they don't ruin Carton for me, but will I ever know peace in these kind of shows? Probably not. Let's start out with the fact that he pushed his cousin in a pool who almost died. If it wasn't for Lisa jumping in and saving him, love Lisa. I like the show. I feel like the show wants me to feel sorry for Carton, but if that's what they were aiming for, it didn't work. Do I feel bad for Carton? In a way, yes, because he clearly needs help, and when Lisa was saying how he needs help and was there for him, was really sweet, but it doesn't take away what he did, and it doesn't justify his actions, because pushing him in the pool, like a very deep one, when that already gave me a bad taste in my mouth. I'm pretty sure he knew that Will couldn't swim. I remember him saying to Lisa, I rewatched that scene, and he says to Lisa that he doesn't do the whole swimming thing, but regardless if he knew or not, it's still a terrible thing that he did that, and then having a temper tantrum because he got beaten up. All Will did was defend himself. That's all Will did. He defended himself. So I want to talk about feelings for a bit, and Carton's feelings. I do understand that the reason why Carton pushed Will is because he saw Will and her together, and jealousy is a normal feeling, and I've done things when I'm annoyed or upset, and I've said things or done things, and his feelings are completely valid, but the way he handled his feelings was not valid. In the show, I feel like there's two versions of Carton, so there's episode 1 to 6, and then the rest of the show. So after the church episode, the first episode he annoyed me so much, like he gave me a headache. He was less terrible in the end, but it still doesn't erase what he did. Like, it doesn't sweep it under the rug, which I feel like the show does a lot of the times. They sweep things under the rug. Him lying about Connor being the one who put the drugs in his bag, in Will's bag, that it shows he's a terrible person. I do think that he had a very bad upbringing, so it did cause him to be what he is. So, but I don't think it justifies it, because we have choices and decisions. Something good that I will say about Carton is that I do love the actor who plays him. Seeing like the person who plays Nick Jacob, he's playing a character, so he shouldn't be getting hate for doing his job, and he's an amazing singer, because when they were saying that Carton could sing, I wasn't expecting that, and I do feel bad for him that his parents didn't go to his game, which is why I said I do understand that his feelings are valid, but I just don't feel like it justifies him doing the action. So I can put myself in his shoes for the whole game. Like his parents come to his game. Of course, I would be upset too, but I wouldn't go and do what he did. But that's all I can say about Carton. So that's all I have to say about Carton. The next character I'll be talking about is Trey. I understand where Trey's coming from, and that scene when he was leaving, that was sad. I feel like we need to take a step back a bit. Like Trey needs to take a step back. Will was forced to move from his home because somebody wants him dead, and leaving his school and his football team and his best friend, who is you, Trey. He had to leave you. He didn't want to do that. He has this big house with the money, yes, we all know that, but that doesn't change the situation that he's in. Same like Carton, I can understand his feelings, but making an assumption about him and then being upset when you was wrong shows that you wasn't a good friend to begin with. And being jealous is a valid feeling, but a real friend will respect you or support your friend's decision even if you don't agree with them. The fact that he went and made that post was when my brain said he's not worth it, Will. The thing is that I won't be surprised if he comes back once he's calmed down and realised that the people in his group wouldn't be his friends or wouldn't be with him if it wasn't for Will, and if it wasn't for Will, they wouldn't be with him and he wouldn't be kissing his ass, so they wouldn't be kissing Trey's ass. The thing I say is that it was sad, like that seeing him that he got shot and seeing Will's reaction, but Trey should have told Carton what happened, so that why he was in Bel Air. He probably thought that Carton knew, but still it's not his place to tell him. I do understand that he's a kid, but he has a lot of growing up to do, and he should have told Carton because one, it's not his place and I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do that. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Trey. So the next character I'll be talking about is Will. What a wonderful character and a likeable person. The way you see him come into like his own throughout the show was good to watch. And the thing I hate is when a lot of the main characters are like the most unlikable in the show, because I know a lot of characters my friend will be like, oh, I don't like for example Davy from Never Have I Ever, or Patty from Insatiable. So she's like, oh, she'll be like, oh, I don't like Insatiable, but then she goes, oh, I don't like Patty. I'm like, no, you don't like, it's not that you don't like Insatiable, you don't like Patty, but I understand it's because of the main characters. The main characters can ruin the show for some people, and that's why they don't like the show, because they don't like seeing the main character, and I understand that. It's like Tori from Victorious. Like, I don't like her, but I still like the show Victorious. But Will is not that kind of character. Like, I don't feel like with Will, I don't feel like they're forcing me to like Will just because he's the main character. Like, he's just a likeable character, regardless if he's the main character or not. Was him taking out the gun one of the best decisions? No, it wasn't. But he was trying to defend someone who wasn't able to defend themselves. He didn't want to hurt anyone. That was not his intention. He didn't mean one. The fact that he defended Carton so many times, and the problem is that Carton went after Will way before Will went after Carton. Like, Will didn't have a reason to go after Carton. Like, Will had only been there maybe less than an hour, and Carton was already going towards Will for what reason? He does love Lisa. He definitely does love Lisa, and they're really cute together. But it's not looking good. But I would have to see what happens. The final episode is very heartbreaking. The person who plays Will is so talented, and it breaks my heart watching it because Lou is a scum, and this Will deserves better, which is why I said earlier on that I understand why Vi did what she did, but I'm glad that Will has seen for himself what he's like. Will being vulnerable in that scene, and also the scene when he found out the truth about she just when he's about to run away and says how he loves Hillary and Ashley, but he can't stay. That scene was so beautiful. But same as Hillary, he's gonna go places, I can tell. And the next character I'll be talking about is Tyler. So you know how people say love at first sight, right? This is me when I see Tyler, because okay. So the joke that he made to the teacher, I was blushing. I felt like a fangirl. And when I say that it makes me feel all warm inside, like I know he's barely in the show, but whenever he is, I just can't help but smile. And the friendship that he and Will has is really good, and the development is really good, and I'm here for the development. I do understand that he's just doing the bare minimum. I understand that, but I can't help but smile and get all giddy. It's like me crushing over a celebrity. It's like this is Shawn Mendes, right? This is Shawn Mendes. It's like me crushing over Shawn Mendes. That's how I feel like. I was crushing so when I was watching the show, I was crushing so bad. There was a point that I needed to tell myself to stop, and I tried to tell myself to stop, and it wasn't working. So what ended up happening is that I started singing Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift, and she's like, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me, at tea time, everybody agrees, I stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror, hit my teeth, but still always rooting for the anti-hero, that's me." I deserve better than the bare minimum. I deserve better than the bare minimum, but when people like Tyler give you the bare minimum, I see it. I appreciate it. So it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Can we have more Tyler and less Connor, please? I appreciate that. We don't need Connor anymore. Connor needs to go. You see the door that way? He needs to go out a bit and stay out of it. Tyler can come in. Tyler, you are welcome, but Connor out. We don't need more of Connor. We don't need more of him. And something I didn't mention with Carlton is that I'm glad that he finally saw what kind of that Connor is like. Like, I'm sorry, my man, but like, really, Carlton? Now you've finally seen how Carlton. I mean, wow, he's not a good person, but I'm like, really, Carlton? Now you see how Connor is. That Connor's not a good person. Also, I'm cursing that a lot. One, because of the brightness, and two, just talking about people like Connor actually get someone else. But I've talked about all the characters, so now I'm going to talk about the show episode by episode. So episode 1, my thoughts on the episode is that it was good, a lot of funny parts, and the ending was very shocking. The way that Carlton pushed Will in the pool, I'm more interested to see what happens to Carlton. But the first episode, it did good, and I can see the similarities to the original. I can see the chemistry between Lisa and Will. Episode 2, my thoughts on the episode is that it was good. Carlton is so annoying. I don't like this because they are ruining his character for me. Connor needs to go away. He's annoying. He's annoying playing his ass. Oh my gosh. I can see that I'm going to love Trey when he comes on screen. I think it's Tyler. I can see I'm going to love Tyler. When he comes on the screen, I said to myself, he's very good looking, and he made me laugh. The way he said about Connor, how he's wanted to punch him, he wanted to punch him since the 6th grade, like, that was really funny, and I could see a friendship coming along. It was sad hearing about Trey being shot, but I'm glad he will be okay. This episode got me so annoyed, but it was a good episode. I really like the character of Auntie Viv, and I can see that she does really care, and she's doing her best. It was still controlling with Ashley though, not Ashley, with Hillary though. It was too much. Episode 3, my thoughts on the episode is that it was good. I do think that Hillary making the live post about he would come back and bite her in the ass, but I'm glad she did what she did because she stood up for what is right. Will and Auntie Viv are bonding and becoming closer, which is good to see. I do feel sorry for Carlton, but at the same time, it doesn't justify his actions. The ending was really good, and I went, oh no. The scene with the song was cringy but funny at the same time. Episode 4, I really like the chemistry between Hilary and Jazz. I like how they didn't make Jazz creepy and a stalker going after someone who is out of his league. We got more of Ashley, which is good. I really like Jeffrey has their backs, and having Ashley's back was sweet as well. The way that she was looking at one of her friends, that is a girl, got me thinking maybe it's her that she has a crush on, because when she asked where was she, and they're like, oh, she's coming late, I thought it was because she was the only girl and she didn't want to be uncomfortable. Plus a lot of her friends she met online. The fact that it might not be the guy who put her hands around her, so this could be a twist, but I'm very invested to keep it like this. Them getting along, so him and Will, but I won't be putting my guard down yet. Well, what it ending, Trey's coming to LA and Richard is dead. So I was very surprised when Trey said that. So that's my thoughts on episode 4. My thoughts on episode 5 is the episode was really good. It was good seeing Trey and Will. It was really sad seeing how they left off, but I can see that they're both sad about the situation. I've been saying the whole show that I love Auntie Vivian, but I feel like Hilary is the best character, and the way she was so supportive of Ashley, even when she said that the friend that she has a crush on is a girl's name. I'm very happy for Hilary, and Carlton knows the truth about Will. Episode 6, my thoughts on the episode is that it was good, really beautiful, and the acting was really good. I did feel sorry for Ashley, but I could see how the girl has a crush on Will, because by the way she was looking at her when he was playing the piano. I loved the scene when Vivian went off because I find it funny, because when Angela's saying she doesn't want to be the evil stepmother, but then keeps on making things about her, like the door. Cotton needs help, and that scene when Will was holding him was very heartbreaking. The ending was very surprising, and Hilary looks stunning as always. Okay. Episode 7, my thoughts on the episode is that it was really good. I'm glad that Carlton has finally seen Connor for what he is. Took so long, but finally, really sort of coming closer, which is sweet. Uncle Phil needs to get his ego in check, or his jealousy in check. The end was sad, and that's how Carlton finds out about Lisa and Will, but I'm glad Lisa was able to call the dad and he spoke to the cops so they didn't get arrested at the party. Episode 8, my thoughts on the episode, it was good. I'm glad that Will and Carlton are trying to bury the hatchet. I was very sad to see the sisters fighting, but they sorted out and come together in the end. We are going to learn more about Lou, and I'm very invested. My thoughts on episode 9 is that it was good. I feel very bad for Lisa, but I'm glad she knows the truth. I thought Uncle Phil would I was very surprised how Uncle Phil took himself out of the election. Episode 10, the last episode, my thoughts on the episode is that it was really good. I was very emotional, but the person that plays Will was acting in that episode, like he was acting. I was so into the show, and I liked how they handled different topics. So my final thoughts is I thought the season was very good. I was hesitated about watching the show because I didn't want them to ruin the original, but I think they did really good. It was a really good show. You can see how some things are similar to the original and how they put new storylines in it. The action in the show was really good, especially the person that plays Will. The last episode, he was acting in that scene, in that episode, especially that part between between him and Lou. I really hope they do a season 2. I like how they talk about different situations for sexuality and anxiety. I think it's a surprise gem show, and I think even if we haven't seen the original, it's still a good show on its own. It's definitely up there with one of the best shows that came out this year. So now I'm going to say my ranking of the episodes. So my favourite episode was episode 4, then it was episode 2, episode 5, episode 1, episode 6, episode 10, episode 3, episode 9, episode 8, and my least favourite was episode 7. Maybe in the future this could change, but that is my ranking as of now. And now the last thing I'm going to do is talk about my season 2 predictions, and I'm pretty sure it's already been confirmed for season 2. If it's not, then I think they should do one. And what I put is I want more of Jazz and Will's relationship. I want it to get stronger. I love to see more of the bond between Ashley and Will. That would be really good, because one of my favourite parts about the original is Ashley and Will's bond. There's something that I thought would happen in this season, but it didn't happen, and I thought that Harton would hit rock bottom, and then hopefully he will get help. With Lisa, I hope she's treated way better, and I know there's a theory that maybe she's pregnant, and to me, I feel like the thing that she's going to tell Will is that she loves him too. I don't think she's pregnant, but if it does turn out that she's pregnant, it will be very interesting to see, because I do love them together, but I don't know if any of them are ready to have a child right now, and bringing a child into the world with everything going on. I don't think it would be the right time. Something that would be interesting is seeing scenes with Lou and Viv, and maybe them meeting in a middle ground. Do we both hate each other? Yes. Do we both regret being with each other? Yes. But are we going to try to do better for our son? Absolutely. Will Tyler please arrest Connor? With Hillary, I feel like it's going to be more downhill for her, because I talked about earlier how I feel about Ivory. I feel like she sees Ivory as like this weight of her shoulder, because she will get the help to get out the money to get out of the contract, but it's not going to go the way she plans. With Hillary and Jazz, I like their relationship, and I feel like they have a good bond, so I think, but do I think it will last? Probably not, because I do see Hillary moving away or trying to start over. Maybe I feel like Jazz might not be ready to take that big step yet. I really hope Jeffrey comes back and Theo stops lying. That would be really great. Actually, I do see her learning more about herself and maybe coming out, but I just want to see more of her, so that's how I feel about Ashley. Well, I feel like he's still finding himself more, and the whole him and Trey storyline isn't over, and maybe he would go and visit him or his friends. I feel like he should go back to Philly for an episode to visit his friend and visit his mum. With Reed, I feel like it's been confirmed that he's back. I think it has been confirmed, I'm not sure. And all I have to say is, same as I said earlier, I don't mind him coming back, just don't sleep with Viv. Please do not sleep with her. Then I will be very happy. With Vivian, I hope she becomes more understanding and more patient, and let go of the handlebars a bit. Kind of like when you're in the car, let go of it a bit. And I'm excited to see her doing the fellowship. Just don't sleep with Reed. Just don't do that. And Tyler, more Tyler, please. That's the end of the video. If you guys like it, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know your favourite characters, what you thought of the show, if you liked it, if you hated it, who's your least favourite character, who's your favourite character. Character is Hillary and Tyler and Will and Ashley and Viv. So those are my 5 favourite. So my favourite characters are Hillary, Ashley, Tyler, Will, Vivian, and Jeffrey. And my least favourite character will have to be Uncle Phil. I don't like it. I don't like Uncle Phil as well either, but my least favourite character is Ashley. Fred and Ashley, they're my least favourite. I don't like Carlton as well, but Fred and Ashley and Phil are worse in my opinion. And my favourite episodes, I already said what my favourite episode is episode 4, and my least favourite was episode 7. Yes, 7. Okay. But this video was probably a long one, so if you watched all of it, thank you. I'm sorry for this light. This light is going on me right now. It's kind of annoying me, but I still try to work with it. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out when I post. And if you guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.